Are you sitting there wondering why your back's not growing? Just so you know, it's not your genetics. It's not how high your lats insert. It's not even because your dad cheated on your mom with a waitress from Applebee's. It's because you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Today, we're going to fix that. Let's get after it. First, let's define what pushing yourself harder looks like. And for me, nothing to do with how much weight I can lift. Walking in the gym knowing, okay, I got to lift this amount of weight on these lifts is tough, but it doesn't give me that doom and gloom, F my life feeling. But failure, on the other hand, that's a beautiful metric. Knowing that I got 10 to 15 sets where I have to push myself harder mentally than I'm physically capable of going, that sucks. The only thing I can really equate it to is using the amount of weight you lift to track progress is like texting to break up with your girlfriend. Now, failure, on the other hand, is texting to break up with her and only using memes. So now all we have to do is kick her ass to failure. So we're gonna start with bench-assisted pull-ups. Now, these are great for the person who can't even do one. If you put that bar up even higher, you get more assistance from your legs. These could be the first step towards doing regular pull-ups, but they're also great for that person who's 95 pounds soaking wet and they can do 50 pull-ups. You put a little weight on their legs and they can pretend like they're a normal weighing adult. And more often than not, you'll see people do these with a really wide grip, but that's not the only way you can do these. You can bring those hands in as close as you want or do them the way I'm about to do them, which is a reverse grip. And like I always preach, following the natural arc of those lats. On that last exercise, if you don't mind smashing your junk like Play-Doh, then just use a dumbbell like I did. But if you want something a little more stable, you can throw a plate on. The best thing you can use is an easy bar, but not everybody has those, so I didn't want you to freak out. So this past week, I was coming up with creative ways to hurt people, and this one exercise alone is the reason my back is so sore. And it's because you break your back down into 3 separate sections, and you push each of them to failure. You're gonna start out by setting that bench at a 45-degree angle and grabbing some dumbbells. You can do high elbow rows, elbows at 90 degrees for 15 reps. Now, obviously, you don't stop at 15, you push yourself to failure, but hopefully you pick that right weight where right when you hit about 15 reps, you're cashed. And from there, don't drop them. Just bring those elbows down to 45 degrees and keep going. Because we're starting to recruit those lats now, you're going to be able to pump out some more reps. And once you fail on that last one, bring those elbows to your side, which is your strongest point, and really screw yourself. Because not only are you rowing up, but also we're going to mimic a hyperextension, so you do everything from those lats all the way into those spinal erectors. Side note and question for anybody who's married. I don't know if this is a thing, but I think my wife has given me subtle reminders that she can ruin my life at any time. For instance, I think she's been buying me women's socks. 2 can play at that game because I'm a bit of a psychological ninja myself. I might not look like I can do subtle, but I can do subtle. So for the next exercise, we're going to build our own makeshift DIY landmine and kill ourselves with 1-arm rows. So grab an old t-shirt, a towel, or something subtle of your wife's. Is there something better than pushing to failure? Absolutely. Pushing to failure multiple times with little rest in between. We can do that here with our makeshift 1-arm row, doing a high elbow row, pushing one side to complete failure, matching it on the other side, and without any rest, going back and forth until you're just smoked. All right, we're going to finish off back by hitting traps because every time I don't, people scream in the comments like they're requesting yah ding dong. So here you go. And the good part about them is they're pretty damn resilient. You can push them harder than most muscles and continue to pull out reps. For instance, when you're doing a drop set of shrugs, normal drop sets, you drop the weight, but you end up dropping the reps as well because you're so fatigued. But your traps are different. They can continue to rep out really high rep sets. But we're not doing that because I just did that yesterday. But instead, we'll do something equally as hard, a really high rep rest pause set. But when you're resting, you're not actually going to rest. You're going to continue to hold the weight, take your 3-4 breaths, and get back at it because those traps can take it. And if you need a little more accountability, I'll link my program below, but essentially it's me force feeding you a shit sandwich for 30 days, but ask anybody who's in there, it works. And make sure, if you haven't watched these videos, I'd watch these next, but most importantly, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.